Hey, welcome back to another What I Eat in a Week. If you're new here, my name is Imi, and I try to eat as seasonal, plant-based as possible. I cook a lot from scratch because honestly, it's so much cheaper. And I've been learning how to cook over the past 4 years, and I've been recently on a journey trying to share everything that I've learned with you to hopefully save you some of the learning curves that I went through. It certainly is a process, but I really hope that you enjoy being here on this channel. It's very much a judgment-free zone, and this community is one of the best out there. So if you want to stick around, consider subscribing, give the video a like if you did like it, as it really supports my channel. And let's take a look at what I ate this week, what I experimented with, and some pretty epic failures. So grab a cup of tea and let's get into it. I prepared these caramelized peach overnight oats, blended overnight oats, yesterday as a kind of test to see if I would even like it. Honestly, these are so delicious. I'm going to start making them with other seasonal fruit as long as they come along. So right now peaches and nectarines are really in season, and lots of berries and stuff like that. I think I'm going to make a batch of these. It's so much easier in the morning just to have something that's already prepared. If you've watched my other What I Eat in a Week, you'll see that I rarely have breakfast because I just cannot be bothered. I just want to kind of get up and get on with my day, whether it's going out to the gym, then coming back, showering, and then get to work, or just getting straight to work. So having something like this is super helpful. Obviously, this is a little bit more luxurious because I caramelized them. I'm not going to do that for every single day. I'm going to try and make it as healthy as possible whilst also still being delicious. So I might meal prep some of those this week, which is super exciting. But yeah, today is just a batch editing day, so that's why this is super helpful. I'm going to take this over to my desk and I'm going to edit until lunchtime. I don't know why, but I always find it so funny when I come across something new that actually makes my life much more convenient or is very helpful. It just feels like this brand new thing that has come into your life, however small, and makes such a huge difference. Blended oats honestly have changed my morning routine. I'm also a very particular person. If I don't start things at a certain time, then it makes it very hard for me to focus. Or if I feel like I have a project that I really need to get started on immediately, I feel anxious if I don't get started at the time that I wanted to. So just incorporating more things like these blended oats, which are really simple and honestly very straightforward. They have definitely changed my morning, and I need to make sure that I am going back and doing this. This week I did a lot of experimentation for my 100 series that I'm doing on Shorts and Instagram. So for lunch I had some miso glazed aubergine. This was not a balanced meal. There was no protein, but I did enjoy it and it was delicious. I just made my miso aubergine and put it over rice and some salad. And later I've really been enjoying seasonal fruit, and I had some pistachios left over from my raspberry and pistachio rolls, which are also in my shorts. The summer is definitely a time where I like to have food just very much available that I can just pick up and shove in my mouth, to be honest. So having lots of seasonal fruit around is really helpful. Having blended oats is helpful, or just having recipes that are really easy that you can just pick up and get started with. Good morning. I fed my sourdough starter maybe half an hour ago, and once it's doubled in size, we're going to try making sourdough baguettes today. I think the process is very similar from what I've researched, but the shaping process is a little bit different. So I'll be very excited to see how that first attempt goes. I also got some corn a couple days ago because corn's very much in season right now, and I saw a couple of different people making corn ribs. Like if you don't follow Crunch on Instagram, he makes really great recipes, especially around tofu. And then Sarah's Vegan Kitchen, in her last video, she also made corn ribs and clearly loved them. So we're going to try making some of those today. So we've got the sourdough baguettes, the corn ribs. What else? We also have a lot of bananas, which are very much getting to a point where they're overripe. So I think for those overnight oats that I was going to meal prep, I might make some kind of banana bread style overnight oats because I loved those peach ones. They were just delicious. Yeah, I think we're going to make those kind of things today. I have to go for my morning run and then we'll get started. I'm not sure how, but I finally managed to get myself into a really creative phase where I've been really enjoying experimenting with stuff in the kitchen, and I made a salsa verde this week, so I really wanted to try and make breakfast burritos. And I basically looked up the recipes, or not the recipes, but the ingredients from my local kind of burrito place, and I just looked at their normal standard one, and then I exchanged the eggs for scrambled tofu. I added some spiced potatoes that we decided to fry. My husband always puts fried potatoes in his and I never do, and honestly, game changer. I'm going to be doing that from now on. So for breakfast burritos, it's really nice to layer things, and you can also meal prep stuff. So meal prepping the potatoes and the tofu scramble is really easy, and also the salsa verde. That reel is actually coming out this week, so it'll already be live by the time you watch this video. It will also be on shorts, but I've made it in a long form video before and it's really easy. You just bake a bunch of stuff in the oven and then blend it. That's honestly it. Then I really wanted to experiment with a fresh pesto and tomato focaccia, because I wanted to make a single serve one. Obviously I didn't for this recipe, but I wanted to experiment with making a single serve one to help people who don't want to make such a big volume of food when they are meal prepping or food prepping. And focaccia is super easy. You just mix all of your ingredients together. So once you've mixed your dough together, you're just going to leave it for 30 minutes covered, stretch and fold once, cover it for another 30 minutes, stretch and fold again. The stretching and folding, you don't necessarily have to do it, but it does make the dough stronger, so that I personally think it gives it a better texture. But I'm really obsessed with my bowl cover. It's actually been hand loomed, and I also recently got a bag to put my bread in because I've just been wrapping it up in a tea towel, which is fine. I'm very excited to use this, especially because we're making baguettes today, which I need to start soon. But I always get questions about where I get these bowl covers from, and previously I got some, I think for Christmas, so I had no idea where they were actually from. But this one is from a women cooperative that are based in the West Highlands of Guatemala, and these directly support that community. And I was able to find them on the website Done Good, which are kindly sponsoring today's video. So you can shop by your values, or you can shop by whether it's vegan, whether it's cruelty-free, whether it's women owned. There are so many different things that specifically the ones that are important to you, you can shop for. I personally find shopping quite stressful because obviously when I'm trying to buy something, I've thought about that for a very long time before purchasing something, and I want to make sure it's sustainable, I want to make sure it's ethical, and I want to make sure that it's going to be something that lasts or directly impacts the community. So I'm very excited with this. I'm also actually waiting for 2 more things, which I'm really excited to show you as well. But for now, I just wanted to show you my beautiful covers. And if you do want to check out Done Good, I will put them in the description below. But I'll show you the other things that are coming. You can tell I'm quite excited because I really don't buy things very often. So when I do, I really think about it and I really make sure that these things are something that I actually need, but are also fully in line with my values. I've been pretty absent this summer, so I haven't been able to give my garden the love that it truly deserves. But I always make sure to plant basil and some tomatoes because they do very well on their own. Next year, however, I'm very excited to really get stuck in, and I just want to grow so many different things and really experiment. I'm always so jealous when I'm seeing people like the curly cultivators on Instagram growing all of their beautiful fruits and vegetables. With my basil, I made the pesto to go on top of the focaccia, and I kept half of it to go on top while it baked, and then kept half so it could have some fresh pesto on top afterwards. And it gives this really nice mix of crispy pesto and then fresh pesto as well. I always love to put tomatoes in there, and focaccia is so versatile. I don't think I'll ever stop experimenting with different flavors and different things to put on top. Wow, that's really good. I had every intention of making the Rainbow Plant Life noodle salad for dinner, but we just got back from climbing and it's like 7:15 and we just can't be asked, and I just want to watch the climbing. So I'm going to have a really big piece of this focaccia. But I am going to make that noodle salad tomorrow morning. No, tomorrow for lunchtime. Also, my sourdough starter took such a long time to rise that I couldn't make the baguettes today, so I'm going to get up really early tomorrow morning and feed the starter so that hopefully it's ready earlier on. So Instagram messed out my scheduling of all my 100 series reels, so I had to go and delete them all and redo the whole thing. But I ended up just getting caught up on the computer, and I did all the voiceovers for the rest of the ones that I had filmed and edited. And now it's lunchtime and I'm really craving a breakfast burrito like yesterday, so I'm just gonna make the same thing again. I also haven't showered yet since I got back from the gym, which is a bit disgusting. So I'm gonna have my burrito and then have a shower. Don't judge me. It's just one of those times, you know, when I got back and I sat down just to finish those things or just to redo that Instagram stuff, I really didn't mean to sit there for so long. But now it's almost 4 hours later. So yeah, it was not intentional. Okay, I really need this to be understood. If anyone tells you that making baguettes is easy, they're lying to you, okay? This was one of the most hilariously frustrating, ridiculous processes I think I've ever been through. Everything felt normal. Everything felt like this is what it's supposed to happen. This is how it's supposed to go. I'm doing all the things that are right and this is excellent. Everything's going so well. But then later you come to the shaping. Before we get to that though, I did make that rainbow plant life noodle salad for dinner and it was absolutely delicious. Everyone should be making her recipes because she is phenomenal. I love to support other creators and I feel like when they make good recipes, then we should all be talking about it and sharing with each other. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear some screaming in the background. I'm currently with my nephews and they're 5 and 3. And they don't understand that peace and quiet is something we all deserve and want. I'm joking, I do love them, but they are crazy in the mornings. Anyway, back to the baguettes. The shaping is where it really unfolded for me. It became very hard to maneuver them and put them in the little couche thing that you're supposed to put them in and then put them in the... Oh, it was very tricky. And then they came out flat, flat, flat. They did taste very good, but yeah, flat. So very flat. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, these baguettes, like, they look bad. Well, they look good, except for they're flat. Flat. But we're gonna give them a little taste test because they still smell delicious just because they're flat, you know. It's my first attempt. I'm not gonna give ourselves a hard time. It might not be much to look at, but it definitely tastes good. That was a good first step. We'll see how the second lot turn out. Probably not gonna be as good because getting them from the couche onto the pan is where I'm having quite a bit of trouble. You know that happens. Fail. Good morning. It is such a gloomy day today, which is pretty nice because the temperature has dropped. I am really enjoying these overnight oats, these blended ones, so I think this is something I'm gonna definitely do going forward. Today I have a day of a lot of filming for my 100 series because tomorrow we're actually heading home to see my family and I want to prepare some food to take on our journey. I got to get a lot of filming done so that I can at least edit when I'm there, and yeah, just generally trying to use up all the food that we have in the house and anything in the cupboards that has some kind of sell by date. And yeah, just try and use up any of the fresh stuff because I hate food waste. I really hate food waste and I don't want to be wasting anything that I can save. So I'll try and eat as much as possible, and then if there are some vegetables that I can't eat, I might blanch them and then put them in the freezer so that they'll be, you know, perfect for when we get back. But yeah, that's everything we're doing today. And honestly, every time I think about those baguettes that I made yesterday, like something can taste so good and look so silly. Anyway, I'm going to finish my overnight oats, finish some editing while I'm eating this, then I'm going to clean the kitchen. Ooh, I also actually have a tomato plant. Okay, so my tomatoes have been going wild outside, which is so exciting. And you're told to pinch off the suckers. And I actually brought this one off and put it in water, so now it's got all of these amazing roots. So I'm going to also plant that today. Also for my 100 recipe series, I was thinking it might be interesting to make recipes that aren't necessarily just food. So like a recipe for growing your own sprouts and kind of like the method, just because I don't want to lose my full like sustainability aspect on there. Obviously everything to do with the food is going to be sustainability related, everything's going to be seasonal, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, let me know what you think, because I thought that could be interesting. Anyway, best get on.